Hey guys, so hard to believe it, but it's September already. And that means we're already almost to archery season. I didn't shoot a video when I came up here, up near the stand, to show getting this new game camera deployed. Got a new one, same as the other one, just cheap Amazon stuff. Now that we know lithium batteries last forever, yeah, lithium's without any hesitation. But I did do, you can see a little of the yellowing. All this in here was poison ivy, waist high. So a little over a week ago, sprayed some of that. Don't really like being in the habit of doing that a lot, but I also don't really like itching like crazy just from trying to hunt. So we, did a little bit here, got some corn spread just now. So working on getting stuff prepped. I'm a little behind the curve, admittedly, compared to where I wanted to be by this point, but we've been having a lot of rain. And I was noticing actually just hiking up here, we also have a lot of acorns dropping this year. Acorns, depending on your regional pronunciation. But I'm really curious because we've had a very, very wet year this year in Western North Carolina. Definitely holding true to our rainforest designation. And I'm really curious to see what that does as far as how the deer are behaving. They definitely seem to be moving a lot more than they were by this point last year. So again, just some factors that I'll be watching. Kind of curious, like I said, year to year, how things are going to be going. But we've already had a little bit of cooler weather. We've had a couple mornings in the upper 40s Fahrenheit already. So definitely already feeling like deer hunting weather, starting to look like deer hunting weather. So just another couple weeks, we'll be getting things started. I'm back with headphones, still earbuds, but different day. Working on sighting in the new crossbow, the new the new weapon of choice for this season that starts actually, as of when I'm shooting this, starts tomorrow. When I mentioned in the last clip, though, which I shot a few days ago, about the oak seeds, again, pick your pronunciation. Around here we say it acorns, however you want to say it. One thing I neglected to mention, and even since I shot that particular clip, they've continued falling just in bucketfuls. The reason why we're having such an increased crop of those this year is because of Helene last year, Hurricane Helene, which we got the fringes of here in the far western end of North Carolina, out west further from Asheville. And the reason for that is actually pretty cool, because it's technically theoretical, but basically comes down to how creation was designed, that when a disaster occurs, a lot of things naturally work on repopulating. So one of the best examples of that was in 1980 when Mount St. Helens erupted. A lot of the animals in that area, the elk in particular, started having twins or triplets every year instead of one calf every 2 to 3 years. The same thing actually happens and has been studied when it comes to trees, where a big storm will actually induce stress on the tree that triggers a stress response by the tree for it to put a ton of energy into putting out seeds that next year. And that's exactly what we're seeing. Now, the reason why I mention all of that is that comes down to, possibly at least, we'll see how the season goes, what's going to happen as far as the behavior of the deer. Because, again, here in North Carolina, you can hunt over bait, which I do, at least in limited capacity. And the thing is, that bait, I have heard, and I'm real curious to see what happens this year, that bait may not be as effective because there's bait everywhere. And so I've already kind of noticed the patterns as far as the deer's movement and all of that has been a little different the last few years. And when I say it's falling, I've literally said to friends and family the last few days, I almost feel like I need a hard hat going through some of the denser patches of woods, because if there's even a breath of wind, all of a sudden it's like it's hailing. And when I say acorns, let me find one here. There's not an oak right near where I'm shooting right now, but down here there's a few. We're not talking, you know, tiny little thimble-sized things here. In meteorology terms, from actual hailstones, let's see, I know there's a few over here in just a minute, if you'll come with me here. In meteorology terms, we're talking nickel to quarter size on these things. Let me see here. Yeah, here's a good size one. Literally, that is not small. Like, that's, and it's got some heft. It's probably about the same density as a hailstone would be. So again, point being, there's a lot to what's going to be happening this year, and we're honestly not sure exactly what the pattern for the deer is going to be. The best thing is, though, the deer have a lot to eat, and that is a very good sign overall, because that means our population is going to be healthy. That means our herds are going to be healthy. And hopefully we'll continue that on even into coming years as they get fed very well this year. Good morning. We're awake, I think.
Halfway.
Yeah. This guy spent the night so that way we could get up at 6:21 according to the stove. So, but because it's literally a 5-minute walk out the door, we're not in a giant hurry. We're pretty much ready. So Oscar, remember Oscar? Flip back in the channel. Dog, he's in there right now. He's usually not used to being up this early, but he loves it when we have guests and all. But made some coffee. A local roast actually from Silva. So we'll find out if local coffee makes the hunt go better.
Yeah.
But we're still trying to pry our eyelids open, but the flurry, whatever. Words aren't English. English is hard normally. It's even harder in the mornings, but I've got stuff packed here already. About everything on this I want to do a review on at some point, but we'll get to that. This is not the time of morning for all that, but radios and rangefinders and KG fanny packs and the whole 9 yards. But
yeah.
Anyhow, so yeah, next video will be up in the stand, probably here in another jump cut, and hopefully the video after that there'll be a deer on the ground.
Or at least tracking one.
Yeah, something. So, we've been here over an hour already, and it's actually been a really interesting morning, because you saw earlier on there was a pair of owls hooting back and forth, which, I mean, I live here, and we don't get that very often, so that was really cool to see, or hear rather. We've seen some squirrels moving around after the owls went to bed, which was kind of funny, and then just now, just up this ridge, which I'll flip around, just up above, probably, what would you say, 30, 35 yards?
Probably like 40.
Yeah, a good ways through really dense foliage. We just saw 3 does run by. They kind of paused a little bit, but we know from experience the last couple of years, you don't shoot crossbow bolts into dense foliage in bad way. And is let's just say crossbow bolts are about $25 with cheap broadheads. Ask me how I know. So, because the twigs deflect the way the bolt goes, you can't track the bolt. The deer runs. It's a mess. So, but we know that they're moving, and they're kind of going along a usual route, but they don't usually run that route this time of day.
Especially does on the top of a ridge.
Exactly. Like I said, the acorns are really changing how things happen this year. So, anyhow, we'll see what happens, but we definitely have some good prospects because all 3 of them did not have fawns with them at all. So they're definitely fair game as part of the season here. But so yeah, we heard owls, we saw squirrels, we saw deer. It's already been a good morning. It's obviously not morning. The last we did anything in the stand was several hours ago. We kind of stalked our way down the mountain. Didn't see anything. It is like it's dead. I mean, you hear the crickets, but I haven't even seen any squirrels out the window while we've been playing Hunter Call the Wild and working on a beef jerky taste test that came out. So that tells you when that was in time. And we finally figured out that's why we're not hungry for lunch. That was a lot of beef jerky, but go watch that card up there. Yeah, all that good stuff. Anyhow, what our plan is now is we're going to go down below the house and kind of loop up around the property. If we see something, we'll have crossbows, but if not, we're at least scouting for later in the season. Because I mean, seriously, this is not a normal opening day. This is not how it went last year at all. No. Last year, we had stuff, granted, I had a little corn, but right down below the house, you may remember that video. Just go back a few. But, yeah, this has been a very strange opening day, but making the best of it. I think I mentioned we were playing Hunter Call the Wild. We used a simulator, basically. So
we did kill something today?
Yeah. We killed time.
Yeah. Lots of time.
You do know the joke about how you make time fly, right? Throw your watch out the window. That's funny. So we're working our way up and we're on the low end of the property. I've known about this rock overhang for a while. Honestly though, in all the time I've owned this property, I've never actually gotten a chance to get to the base of it. We own a stinking cave. I mean, well, I own a stinking cave. Which if I stuck my nose up in it, it probably would be stinking. But for real, like, this is legit. It looks like we've got a bed zone down that way a little ways. I know, this ground is really soft. Probably because it collects all the water. Look, it slopes down.
Yeah.
So the water comes off that, flows back in. If we was ever to try to camp under here, we'd probably have to cut a channel for the water to drain. But this, I mean, this is legit. This is like some, like you'd find in a stinking state park or something. I can't believe I wanted to get in here. I just never got a chance to get up in here. I've been up on top. This is legit though.
And there's even like a really good deer or some sort of trail.
I think that's you know what those are?
Blueberries.
Those are wild blueberries, huh?
Something just found those.
Oh my gosh. I know we've got wild blueberries on here. See, I'm getting all excited and talking too loud. Yeah. This is crazy though.
Let me get up here.
Okay, here. Watch the poison ivy too.
Like you could get up here and you could hunt off there.
Oh, totally. As long as you did it safe direction. Here, I'm gonna get down. Let me back it out and you can kind of get a better view of what we're talking about here.
Dude, this is crazy.
I mean, this thing, that's legit at least 10 foot tall.
You could easily hunt off there.
Oh, totally. Totally. This is awesome, dude. I literally said, did I not? I literally said, this is like Sugar Creek gang level stuff here. Yeah. This is so cool. So, I can't believe I haven't been back up to this point yet. Granted, the poison ivy is always terrible. I've always been I didn't want to come in here without a lot of gear on, but. So yeah, there we go. We might have the title for this one. Opening day, we found a cave. So yeah, this isn't the stand. This isn't camo. This isn't anything. Right after, like a few minutes after, we found the tiny cave and rock overhang that we are totally going to do more with. Like, totally. Right after we found that and all, and we found a deer scrape, all excited.
A deer skull.
Yeah, which is still down there because this guy got a woolly worm down the back of his shirt. And Yeah, woolly worm doesn't do justice to how mean those stupid things
No.
are. So we hightailed it back up here, make sure, didn't have an allergic reaction or nothing. And then all of a sudden, I had a spot on my arm start stinging. So I don't know if I got it from him or what it was, but we got cleaned up. There's still daylight left, but by the time we could get, because it's a Saturday. Again, it's opening day. With church tomorrow, if we got something in the next 30 minutes even, we wouldn't necessarily have time to, process it, debone it before, getting rest before church tomorrow. So that's it on this one. But like we said, we went hunting for deer and found a cave instead. So thanks for coming along. Thanks for being part of the channel. I know it sounds cliche to say all that, but seriously, y'all watching this stuff give us a way to share what we're doing. So
Yeah.
check out his channel. He has cool stuff. We'll work on more cool stuff.
I'll have plenty of hunting videos.
Yep. Watch that beef jerky video. We've got some cool stuff on the way. But again, like, subscribe, all that stuff. There's a subscribe button or his channel button over his face again.
Yeah.
That's become a thing. But